So can you actually take the heads off from the gas tools and put them on the battery?
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing too, is that
totally interchangeable.
We got a hooker. Guys, we're gonna walk in and see some of the coolest Stihl stuff you're ever the blue shirt. This is the Tesla of the battery world. Kill switch is right on your trigger. Stihl has a whole lineup of brand new tools and innovations that are coming in late 2018 and into 2019. And today I want to take an opportunity to show you all of the tools and innovations that you won't get to see anywhere else, but you'll see it in the video today so you know what's coming down the pipeline. Thing that you guys probably are familiar with Stihl, and that's a German-born company, but did you guys know that their largest manufacturing plant is right in the United States of America, where they take raw materials and transform them into the tools that go into your hands? Then they ship them across the globe. They're making tools in the United States and shipping them to China. Happening right in Virginia. All right guys, we're at the Stihl factory and they have a tool for every level of the professional. Brian with Brian's Lawn Maintenance, I'd like to present you with your level of tools. Here you go, buddy.
I'm totally taking
Be careful, make sure you wear the proper PPE because you will need it.
I appreciate
You will need it. Everybody, big hand.
Put me out there, coach. I'm ready.
All right guys, we're looking at the Stihl FS94R. A couple things that I want to point out on this thing real quick. The choke, actually you push in and flip it over, and it's an auto choke, means once you got it fired up, she'll actually pop off. Now watch, as soon as you hit the throttle, she'll pop out like that. So you don't have to manually do it. So we've already got this one warmed up. Couple things before we fire it up too. You can actually adjust the speed right here. So if you don't want to be trimming so fast, you can dial back, you can dial forward, and that will limit how fast you can trim. But another thing too that you can do with this thing is you can actually overpower that limiter. So if you're trimming and you hold the trigger down and all of a sudden you hit a big bunch of weeds, all you got to do is give it a little extra torque and you can go through it. So a couple nice little features that they've incorporated into this thing. The Blue Angels always take priority. Let me show you something else. Here's the stop button. So when you want to cut it off, you can cut it off. Now my first question with this was, what if you accidentally hit it, but actually the detent on this is actually pretty firm. So you've got to have a pretty decent push on this button to activate the detent, so that's not a worry. So it's a very easy way to do it, but also after you stop it, it pops back out. So if you're trying to do what I've done in other videos where I'm pulling and pulling and pulling and don't realize that I've got the kill button on, well, they've actually, I think they've dirt monkey proofed this to that point that that won't happen. That's full throttle right now. Still makes good quality, but let's see how it works in something a little bit tougher. All right guys, this is what we were waiting for right here, brand new for 2019. Well, it's a battery powered combi head, meaning that it's a multi-tool. You can put different tools on it. I want to show you where you carry your battery. Right here. So your battery's here, your connection is right here. You can just line them up. You want to plug it in, line them up, arrow to arrow, plug it in, you're good to go. Pull it out. You can also flip it over. What tools does this operate?
Same tools. Same tools as the battery powered one.
Same. So can you actually take the heads off from the gas tools and put them on the battery?
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing too, is that
totally
if
interchangeable.
you've got a gas powered combi head and you're starting to make the switch to battery, if you already got the combi tools, that's all you need is the power head.
Awesome. Yeah.
Holy. way to trim, isn't it? Catch this, there's power in this. Yeah, that is gas power. That is gas power. That is gas power. Did I say that once? Maybe? All right. Okay. Thanks. One thing that I'm going to say, I've had this communication with the engineers here at Stihl, and they said, hey, when is battery going to actually become competitive with gas? And I said, when battery becomes the Tesla to a Chevrolet vehicle, right? And that means battery can't keep up with gas. It's got to get to the point where it will actually surpass gas, and that's when people will become impressed with it. This is the first professional level battery power tool, guys. I'm going on the record as saying that I've actually picked up, ran, and actually been impressed by. I'm more impressed by this than the gas equivalent I was running earlier, because this never died. It didn't bog, it just kept going no matter how hard I dug into the ground. This is the Tesla of the battery world. Guys, this isn't new, but I want you to listen. It's actually running. How do we cut it? How do we turn it down?
Turn the knob.
Which way though? This way?
That's why they make it idiot-proof. You can see if you look at the little pictogram,
Yep.
It says push.
Push. Oh, okay.
What you just pointed out is actually a safety feature of the machine. That knob is supposed to do that. You know why? Because what if you tried to pick it up by the knob? So instead of being able to pick it up, the knob just comes off.
Okay. Okay guys, we're gonna look at something you guys have probably seen once or twice before, a robotic mower. This mower is a continual mower, meaning that it mows, what is it, 7 days a week, is that right?
If you program it to.
Okay, so, and it does it randomly. It doesn't follow a pattern, but it has a perimeter wire which keeps it inside, and then there's an algorithm inside there that changes the direction of the mower. So within a certain amount of time, it's guaranteed to hit every spot in your yard. So it doesn't actually sense where the grass is short or where the grass is long. It actually runs off the algorithm which says, hey, you know what? Eventually, I'm going to hit this within my dedicated time pattern for cutting this lawn. Also, as we look underneath it, you can see where it actually has a very similar design to a typical or a standard lawnmower, making it a little bit more efficient than some of the other mowers, robotic mowers that are out there that don't have that design. All right, guys, we're actually going to be looking at a battery-powered lawnmower, but this one is actually a prototype. It's going to be developed next year, and this actually unit has two separate motors. The first motor engages the mower or the blades. You can hear them fire up, and it has a separate motor for the actual self-propelled. If you actually step back, you can actually see that this mower is a one-finger mower. So as you're running, you can transport it without the blades running, or so self-propelled on or off, you're gonna at least get 30 minutes of run time. All right guys, we're actually gonna be looking at the Stihl MSA 200C battery powered chainsaw. I just wanna run through it real fast for those of you that are interested. A couple of things that you'll note: this is a pure battery powered unit. Battery pops in and out right on the top. You can actually set it all the way down to lock it in place, but what I wanna show you next, I'm actually gonna pull the battery out, because when you have a chain and it's loose, which inevitably it happens, you have a dial right here. You tighten it up. Once you're tight there, you tighten up your wing nut, and you're in operation. Tightening up your chain is no tools, just the tools that God gave you. It's also got an auto kickoff, so when you're in the lock position, no matter what you do, you can't get this chainsaw to fire up. As soon as I pull back, unlock it, squeeze the trigger, fires up. I don't have to pull it. You guys know that about battery, but let's see how she actually operates. Stihl told me that you should be able to get about 30 minutes of runtime or roughly 150 cuts in 6x6 material like this. All right, you arborists love to hate me, but I still love you guys, so we've got a professional from Stihl.
So some quick features on the saws, and they're on all the gasoline chainsaws. It's your felling sight that's right here. On the professional saws, it's highlighted in black. On your mid-range and homeowner saws, it's the color of the plastic, so it'll be orange and off-white. This also has a plunge cut guide, which is this one. It looks like a pair of crosshairs. That tells you where the center line of your bar is if you're on a large piece of wood. Some neat things about the Stihl saws. They're very well balanced. I'm giving it no effort for it to stay level with the ground. This handle has all of your angles built into it for your felling. So your top cut is always going to be right here. The saw's going to be planed down. For your bottom cut, you can either hold it right there, which will do a closed face, or you can hold it right here and it'll be an open face cut.
The reason we would do an open face cut is because you have less chance of doing a barber chair effect or having the tree split bass backwards on you and
Correct.
come and hit you.
Correct.
Okay. Anything else we want to know about this?
Nope, you got all of it, bud.
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
All right, so the Stihl TSA 230 actually has what I would consider a specific application that is, well, for the hardscaping trade, and that is when you've got to have a grab and go saw that you need to make quick cuts on. This is the unit. Now, one of the tricks with using this unit that I've used over the years is to let it build up momentum before you actually dive in with your cut. So for instance, if you just dive right in, you're not going to be able to gain enough RPM to make the cut. If you let it build up, you're going to be able to do everything that you need to do with it. So that's one of the tricks to optimize this tool. Guys, this is actually a really impressive unit. It's the Stihl BGA 100, and I want to show you something. The battery's actually remote. You actually tether yourself to the battery. So you plug it in, and you've got 3 speed controls here. Right here is your speed control. We're going to go on full power and show you what this is capable of. So I asked them about runtime. On boost mode, that means your maximum power that you're going to get out of this, about 17 minutes of runtime on this unit, and it pumps out about 500 CFM. BR800X, and then the Stihl B
R800C.
800C. The X is an easy start. What's that easy start on?
No, the X stands for the lightweight tube. It's weight optimized.
So show me that tube one more time.
So we've got that tube, long or short version, both comes in the package.
Yep,
so
and
the
it
customer
rotates.
can
Show me
decide.
how it rotates around, would you? We got a hooker.
You would probably turn it that way, oops, come on, and that way.
So that's how she'll hook, and then if you flip it around, you've actually got a hook in the back. These guys can hang it in their trailer.
Exactly.
And it pumps out how many CFM?
Comes out 1014 CFM.
1,000?
1014, which is the same volume as we had on the Beer 700. And the air speed is the same as we had on the 600. People love the Beer 600 for its air speed. People love the 700 for its air volume. The Beer 800 combines both.
So how's the C model differ from the X model?
Here we go. So,
Here we go!
yeah! First,
Yeah, Thomas, where are you from?
Germany.
Germany, yeah.
That's where the funny accent comes from, right? Okay, so we've got the
People say I got a funny accent. Listen to him, eh? What the heck is with that there, don't you know?
Hey, main thing is you understand me, and I hope you do. So we've got the same features over here. This one has the telescopic tube, which means you can... Someone messed it up.
Blake with B&B Lawn Care is playing with this. He broke it. I watched him. You can just charge his room.
Yeah, I will. So it's continuously adjustable length. That's the addition for the C version.
That's what the sound is. And every time they fly over, it's just better and better.
Freaking great air show. Okay, so we had the telescopic tube. Then we have Of course, the same hook over here, the same notch, the same hole in the back plates. In addition, we have extended the back plate so that the shoulder harness comes a tad bit higher in order to accommodate the hip belt.
So is that the only difference between the C and the X?
No, there's more. We have a world's first, we call it side start, which means you can start the blower without taking it back off from your back once you shut it down.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
So while you're wearing it, you can fire it up. You got your throttle right on your... Kill switch is right on your trigger. Two hedge trimmers, two different jobs. This one is the Stihl HSA 94T. And if you guys want a trimmer that is designed for just fine trimming, delicate stuff, this is your unit. This one is the Stihl HSA 94R. There's a little bit of a difference in the blade configuration here. You take a look. And the 94R is made for meatier stuff, so a little bit of woodier material. It's got a remote battery. We've got the battery on our back. We're tethered in. We line up the arrows, push it in. 3-button start, or two finger start. 1, 2, 3 power settings. Let's go see what this can do. We got a tree over here. Let's go see what it can do. So it's handling some pretty meaty stuff, and it's not having any issues. Now I need to clarify something with Thomas. Thomas, you said that the blades will sense when it's under too much of a load and reverse?
Right, it'll reverse the direction of the engine in order to get loose again, that you can get it out of the cut where you got stuck.
So if you bind this up, now I've disconnected the battery, but if you bind this up on something, the blades, instead of continuing to jam in there, will sense it, go bass backwards,
right,
and let you free up, and then it'll keep operating the normal way.
Yes, you got it. Perfect.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, that was my adventure when I went out to the Stihl manufacturing facility in their corporate headquarters. They ship materials worldwide that they make right in the United States, which I really respect, even though they're a German-born company. But my next question to you guys is, what did you think of this video? And number 2, would you guys be interested in seeing a video on pressure washers? Because Stihl has a brand new line of pressure washers out there, and I talked to one of the engineers and product managers at Stihl, and this guy taught me more about pressure washers in 5 minutes than I ever learned in my entire life on my own, and I filmed it all. But I don't want to put it on my channel unless you guys want to know this kind of stuff. So you tell me, pressure washer, yay or nay, in the comments down below. God bless you guys.